guys. I'm Pastor Mermaid, Prophet Mermaid, and I met Prophet Carn in Detroit when I was pastoring there in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Just recently transitioned to Charlotte.
Sit down.
It's a Birthright Ministry. Even tomorrow's our grand opening. But Bishop the Great Davis has always been a friend and brother. He came to our church. Just to say this in 15 seconds about me. I was an All-American athlete, played basketball, played pro, was in the NBA draft. I ran from God, began to sell drugs, went to federal prison, and they dropped the case. And so I came here, I wasn't gonna come because we were trying to get things together for our church, and I reached out to Bishop Davis, and he said, you need to get here, the prophet is gonna be here. And so my wife and I came last night, and you prophesied, and you said this seed is for your children. I told you I was All-American athlete. You know, you can Google my name, A-M-E-R-E-M-A-Y, so people think you're lying in church. And God just took that away from me, but he raised my son up. He went to Delaware State, he was an All-American. He was 6th in the nation in leading the scoring last year. He went to an open gym and the Chicago Bulls signed him to the Summer League this summer. He took a test, and it was a multi-million-dollar deal right on the table. He took a test and they had to let him go because he had an heartbeat. He had an irregular heartbeat and he was devastated. He was training and then he went into smoking and drinking, and I said, son, that's not you. How many know in this place that holiness pays well? I'm gonna say it again. How many know holiness pays well? See, some of you in here today, but your kids are locked up in bondage. And so what the prophet did, he said, sow a seed. I believe it was $91. I sold the seed of $91. And I told Bishop Davis, who prophesied over my son 5 years ago, I said, I just got a text from my son and his agent saying he has to go to Europe next week. He got a multi-million-dollar contract. Y'all don't have to cheer, I know God's good. See, people take what you said lightly. You said $91 for your seed. I sold the seed. And then he testified back and said, Dad, not only that, I heard from John Paxton, the general manager of the Chicago Bulls. And he said, Dad, they're gonna sign me to a multi-million-dollar deal this summer. It doesn't stop there. Bishop Grant Davis, see, I know you're a prophet, but you got a lot of terminology around here that most athletes will understand. You got the crossover.
Okay.
In basketball, we call that the killer crossover. Your opponent think you go in one direction, but you cross them up and you go another. See, some people came in here one way, but God is going to allow some things to cross up and then go home another way. Wait, get ready to say that, I want to hear you. And now there's another terminology that he said, the Sweet 16. It's about 128 college basketball teams that enter what we call March Madness. And they predict by Duke, and they say Kentucky gonna win. They say all these big name teams gonna win. But there's something about the Sweet 16. They call some teams Cinderella stories. The reason they call them Cinderella story because nobody expected them to be there. I can't get no help in this place. And since this Sweet 16 for some of you, you are a Cinderella story. People didn't expect you to be in the place that you in today. But I prophesy over your life and over your children. I prophesy over your life that your sons and your daughters be healed in the name of Jesus. Open your mouth and give God a praise. Let me say it. You didn't tell me this. You didn't tell me this. You didn't tell me to do this. So if you want to rebuke me, rebuke me.
I don't rebuke no seed.
I ain't scared of them either. But some of y'all locked up. You're looking at a real testimony. I was a Kojic baby, sold more drugs in the pharmaceutical companies. All-American athlete, played with Chris Webber, my great friend, got a lot of NBA friends. But I didn't want no parts of church because I was looking at people that's supposed to have been holy and wasn't living holy. But the Lord ran me back into church. And I had to break that thing off of my son. How do you break generational curses? A seed breaks cycles over your life. Come here, prophet, stand here, you're a prophet. I honor you, I don't care if I'm only 40 years old, but I honor you as a prophet. God told me to tell you There's many of you in this place. You're saved, you're sanctified, but your children out in the club smoking weed. Don't tell me my kids doing the same thing. That's why holiness pays well. Y'all ain't saying that holiness will cover your kids at the club and at the strip club while you dancing in church. Y'all ain't saying nothing in this place. God told me to tell the people of God that want God to break a cycle off of their posterity's life. I don't care where you come from. He says, drop a $100 seed at this man of God's life. Let me tell you why it's so important. Because if he wouldn't have had this encounter, that cycle wouldn't have been broken. I'm going to say it again. Y'all ain't hear what I'm saying? If Bishop Davis wouldn't have instructed me to come, he wouldn't have been instructed by God. That cycle, I almost missed a multi-million-dollar deal in my feelings. Touch your neighbor and say, get out your feelings. God's trying to do something with you. Get your seed in your hand. Follow the leader. I'm telling you, it's on my life. It's on my life. And drop it right at this man of God's feet. Come on, women of God, get it out. Come on, come from where you at. Come from where you are. He did not tell me to do this. He didn't tell me to do this, but I know when I feel God in this place. I'm telling you right now, God, move right now. Move from the back of the way. Run down here, run. Y'all ain't running long enough. Come on. Some of your kids got prison sentences. Some of them in homosexuality. Some of them are homemongers to get AIDS. This gonna cover them today. This seed is gonna cover them today. Come on, move fast. Y'all ain't moving fast. Some of you had to put your houses up to bond them out of jail. But I come to the prophesy the court case is gonna be dismissed. I prophesy right now they're gonna be dismissed. They're gonna be released off of probation early. There's a demonic struggle over their life. It's a generational curse. But God is going to break it in the name of Yeshua. I'm telling you, come from where you at. Come. Tell them to move out the way. You got to get your seed in the ground. Forget who's looking at you. Some of you got felonies on your record and they won't even hire you. But if you come and sow this seed, God will expunge your record. How do you know he did it for me? Come on, somebody ought to come down here right now. God